ever wanted to go to a seafood restaurant when someone in the group whines that they don't like seafood? That person's bloodline is weak and they're doomed to a life of abstinence. Welcome to the best show in the universe, I'm Maddox. Did you know that seafood is awesome, but it's also really good to eat, and it tastes good? Here's another fact. There are only around 6,000 species of mammals. That means if you eat one different mammal every day from the day you were born, you better believe I've tried, you'd run out of new mammals to eat by the age of 16. Seafood, on the other hand, comprises of over 35,000 species, which means you could eat a different fish every single day for 95 years and still not run out. Hell yeah! Most food comes from grocery stores, which is a place they also sell things like pig knuckles and Vagisil. Barf! It's where the average person gets their food because the average person is boring. You know what's not boring? Getting your food from a place where pirates have lived and died. Every time you eat a meal from the ocean, there's a non-zero chance that it came from a pirate's tomb. The ocean is home to giant squid, sharks, and imploding billionaires. Awesome! If you look at any old sea map, the chart is littered with badass sea monsters that are totally real. But if you look at a map of a farm, all you see is stupid bullshit like cows, horses, and this fuckface chicken. If you look at the age of groups of people who eat seafood, the groups of people who consume it the least are children. That's because kids mostly eat crayons, cheese pizza, and boogers, because, as I stated in another video, kids are dumb as hell. They're dumb as hell. There's something about eating food that children don't like that makes it taste better. Like kimchi stew. Have you ever seen a kid eat kimchi stew on a playground? I didn't think so, ding dong. And as if that wasn't reason enough, seafood literally increases your brain volume. A study found that people who consumed fish weekly had more gray matter volume and a lower risk of dementia. So if you don't eat seafood, you've probably already forgotten what I just said. Eat some tuna, dumbass. Despite all these awesome benefits of eating seafood, namely that it's awesome and it makes you look like a badass who deflowers everyone within a 5-block radius, there are still droves of people who don't like it. So let's take a quick look at some of the most common objections to seafood. Number 1, seafood looks like bugs. Yeah, no shit, I eat bugs. Why do people have such a problem with eating bugs anyway? The people who are most afraid of eating bugs are always internet tough guys and culture warriors who think it's a conspiracy being pushed by anti-meat advocates to try to get us to stop eating meat by replacing it with bugs.
These global institutions that are saying, us humans need to eat bugs in order to save the planet. They're using fear to try to control and change our ways of life.
Newsflash, morons, you can eat both, and I plan on it. Next time you see a trail of ants carrying food away, why not eat their food and then eat them too? If you don't like bugs, eat them. Number 2, the ocean is disgusting. You're disgusting. The argument is that humans dump waste into the ocean, therefore the ocean is too polluted to eat from. While humans do dump waste into the ocean, the amount of waste amounts to 8 million tons per year, which sounds like a lot until you consider the fact that the ocean has 1,350 quadrillion metric tons of water. So about half as much water as your mom's panties when I show her my Pokedex. That's approximately 0.0002% of the ocean. There are literally more poop particles in your pants, sweaty. Yet despite this fact, most people eat vegetables that are grown in manure, beef that eats grass that contains bugs, and processed bullshit from fast food restaurants. Every time you breathe someone's fart, that's someone's butt oven vaporizing a turd, and I don't see you boycotting oxygen. Number 3, it's a texture thing. Boo-hoo. This is the biggest cop-out when it comes to suck-ass crybabies who don't like a type of food. When someone says it's a texture thing, what they want you to think is that they're not actually picky eaters, and they would totally be fine with the food if it only weren't for the texture. Bullshit. First of all, the texture of all food is exactly the same when you chew it. Mush. There are only 2 exceptions when it comes to seafood that you get a free pass on: oysters and jellyfish. Oysters are objectively the phlegmiest food in existence, and jellyfish tastes like nothing and is stupid. Jellyfish is a garbage animal. Anyone who tries to convince you to eat one is an idiot. The only reason you should ever eat a jellyfish is to put one in its place to remind them that the sea is man's domain. Number 4, it doesn't taste good. Wrong. Number 5, you don't like the smell of seafood. That's probably because you do so much crying that your face smells like seafood. We never have to worry about the oceans evaporating with crybabies spraying huge gobs of salty tears every time seafood shows up on a menu. Number 6, fish has bones in it. Oh no, not bones. Maybe you should take a page from fish and grow a backbone. So by now you're probably thinking, okay Maddox, you make a good point. I'm tired of being a virgin. So what seafood should I try? Good question, so I went ahead and created a chart to help rank all the seafood from the worst to the best. We've already covered oysters and jellyfish, but starting at the very bottom on this list is caviar, and its close relative, masago. That's the orange bullshit you find on top of sushi when the sushi chef runs out of shit to put on rice. Caviar tastes like a mix between boba and fish cum. Hard pass. Also at the bottom of the list is anything with squid ink. Squid ink is stupid and it tastes like nothing, and it makes your mouth look like you gave Venom a blowjob. It's popular in Venice for some reason, but do yourself a favor and skip it. Also joining this list is Shirako, which is sperm sacs. Barf! Shirako has the consistency of cream cheese and supposedly tastes like salty toothpaste. No thanks. Next on the D rank is anchovies. This used to be a running gag on TV shows where people would order pizza without anchovies for some reason. Well, it turns out the reason is because they're garbage animals that are too salty and taste like nothing. And speaking of things that taste like nothing, add octopus to that list. For such a supposedly smart animal, you'd think they'd find a way to make themselves taste better. I'm a genius, so I think I probably taste great. Next on the list is pickled herring, which is big in Sweden because they still haven't figured out food yet. It tastes like all the worst parts of fish combined with all the worst parts of cheese. And nipping closely at its heels is carp, which tastes like mud, and gooey duck, which is the perfect food for people who like seafood and deep-throating Poseidon. Next on the C rank, we have mussels, clams, seaweed, and uni, which is sea urchin. Sea urchin is the pomegranate of the sea, so in other words, not worth the hassle. Also on the list is non-calamari squid, which is just chewy bullshit that looks like pig anus, and seaweed, which is a great snack to eat when you want a snack that's not filling or good. Next up is the B rank with calamari. Calamari is just squid that's been breaded and deep fried, so in other words, it's delicious. Anyone who doesn't like it is an idiot. Sardines are also on this list. Nothing makes you feel like more of a fisherman than eating a can of sardines. It's badass. Also on this list is cod, catfish, mackerel, eel, and surimi, which is what you'd get if you got a great bargain snow crab on Temu. Next is the A rank. These are the most solid seafood picks for most people, and this list includes such classics as crawfish, salmon, tuna, tilapia, trout, shrimp, swordfish, and shrimp crackers. I know shrimp crackers aren't technically seafood, but taking a whiff of a bag will test your mettle. Everything in this rank is enjoyed by most people who like seafood. You can tell someone's a huge dipshit if they don't like shrimp or tuna, which really is the chicken of the sea. And if you're trying to microdose seafood, fish sticks are a gateway to the sea. Even children will eat fish sticks, and they're dumb as hell. But finally, all the way at the top of this list, the very best that the ocean has to offer are crab, lobster, sea bass, and smoked salmon. Yes, I know salmon was on the previous list, but smoked salmon is like having someone curb stomp your mouth with flavor. If bears knew how good smoked salmon was, they'd go to war to protect their supply, and they'd lose because we have nukes. Crab is probably the king of seafood because it not only tastes good, but it takes a while to eat, which gives you time to think. Crab is the thinking man's food. Only smart people who have regular sex eat crab, and that's me. So there you have it, the complete rank of some of the most common seafood items that even the weepiest of crybabies can enjoy. That's it for now. Until next time, I'm Maddox. You better believe I've tried.